Welcome to the 290 Moe podcast. I appreciate your time. If you could introduce yourself to my viewers and listeners.
My name is Andrea Powell, and I am a young author slash entrepreneur. For most people who don't know me, I do have 2 books out right now on Amazon and Kindle. You can check those out, and we'll get more into that during the interview.
Okay. So you mentioned the books. We kind of talked about that last time. So how's that going for you? How's the response?
So my books have been going well ever since I have published them. I always, just be more informative and advertise and just keep getting my word out. It's been going pretty well for a beginner. It's been going very well.
Okay, you call yourself a beginner, but beginners don't have published books on Amazon. So.
I'm still beginning. I'm not too big-headed about it. I'm very humble when it comes to the work I put in and, the success behind it. I feel like, it's more room to grow, so.
Okay. And what kind of feedback have you been getting from them?
I still want more feedback, which I always tell my readers to give me more feedback, or anybody who has ever sat down and read my book. The most feedback that I've gotten was all good feedback, but I do accept, suggestions or things you might not have liked, or things, you feel that could have been better about anything that I work on as far as putting out. So the feedback has been all good, still open to more of it.
Okay, and just going off what you mentioned, what type of feedback would you give yourself for the books? Is there anything that you feel like you would have changed, did differently?
I just always give myself the feedback of just go harder. Just go harder. Just go harder, go home. Like,
okay.
I feel like if I do good, you could do better. And that's just the feedback I give myself every time.
Okay. And did having published books out, did that motivate you? Did it make you be like, all right, I achieved something, so I'm gonna be cool on it? What was that like?
It did give me it gave me I was just anxious. It gave me it gave me a good feeling. I don't feel like, no, it didn't really give me a feeling to chill. It gave me a feeling to be like, nah, you got to be on it, because now they're going to be looking for more stuff. Now they're going to be wanting more to read. Like, you got to be on it. So I really feel like it gave me a drive to just continue.
Okay. And still staying on the books and stuff, are you interested in doing any other type of publications or anything? Or
I am.
Or could we expect more of the same?
I still have not started the children's book, which I want to do.
That's gonna take off.
Yeah, I think I should really put that out. But I just want to, continue to kind of like advertise these and get these out there more before just moving on to the next step, because that is something that I feel like, as a different side of giving myself the feedback instead of the go hard or go home, I feel like you should also just, take your time and do it with grace instead of rushing things, because as a beginner writer or any entrepreneur or artist or whoever you are, we have the sense to urgently do things sometimes, and I think we should just always take our time. So
okay. And what are you reading? What are you a fan of? Did anybody specifically have some type of did you look up to somebody coming up as far as authors? Authors, right, for women? So.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have Maya Angelou, that's really my inspiration right there. She is an amazing poet. She did so many things for women, and I just love everything about her. Far as what I'm reading right now, I'm not reading anything. I did get a suggestion to read a book called Poor Dad, Rich Dad, which is available on Amazon, I was told. So hopefully I'll get to grab that and see what's to that soon.
Okay. Do you have a favorite book? Do you have a favorite thing to go to and read, or is it you?
My favorite thing, I believe, that's a question I got asked on the first podcast too, first podcast interview. My favorite thing to read, I think it's still drama.
Yeah.
It's still drama. I just like stories that just make me imagine
like
I'm in it.
Right.
No, I don't like drama. I don't like drama. I'm not a person who like drama. I'm like so laid back and chill. might be a little ghetto, but I don't like drama at all.
Okay. So before we get into what you got coming up next, what you working on, you mentioned the kids book, the children's book. I know that ain't gonna be about drama. So if you could give us like a little synopsis on what type of kids books you wanna provide.
One of the ideas for the kids book that I wanted to start working on was just like a safety book for kids.
That's gonna take off.
No specific gender, both genders. Just something to let them know, just how to go, just to go about life and things. Cause a lot of kids don't get the basic foundation. A lot of them don't understand certain things, and their kids, this is our youth. This is who, we got to look after. Somebody look after us. So, the more we put out for our generation, upcoming generation, the better it'll be. So, I just feel like safety would be definitely number one.
Especially for what we at. So is that something that you started working on? Any release windows,
I have not
dates?
Worked on, nope.
That's gonna take off.
I hope so.
Somebody won't let nobody steal. You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean it's room for everybody at the top, but nobody's gonna be me, so I'm not worried about that.
True. Okay, so before we get into what you got next, I remember you had the inspirational like emails. How was that going? What's up with that?
So I actually have not reached out to my encouragement group. I want to do something big with my encouragement group. Like I still have everybody contacts and emails and stuff like that, but right now I'm really focused on the basics. When I first started, just as an author and as somebody with like just a high power of leadership, I was just so into just, doing whatever to make my name stick out, draw in this certain audience. But I feel like if I stick to the basics and just do what I love, which is just poetry, which is what I'm really focused on now. Like I have a focus point now. I feel like that's something that has changed about what I'm trying to do. I think what my idea of what I want to do in my encouragement group is going to come after I lay down like the basic foundation of what it is I'm trying to get out there.
Okay. And I didn't know it was called exactly an encouragement group. So is that basically what the name implies?
Yeah, it definitely was an encouragement group. It was just me just letting women and men know just daily quotes or.
See, I thought it was just women.
No, it was not just women.
Okay,
anybody could have joined. Anyway, it was open. You could still join. It's open to the public. Okay. Because like I'm saying, I do have some things coming into play that's gonna help me open that door back up.
Okay. And you mentioned poetry being your main focus. Is that the same thing you're gonna apply with the kids' books, or is that just gonna be straight literature?
No, I definitely want to put poetry. Form the children's book in poet form. So yeah,
okay,
I'm big on that.
That's dope. Okay, we got the published books, we got the poems. You know what I'm saying? What else do you have love for?
So right now I actually I want to say about 2 months ago I got approved for my event space. So I've been really happy about that. I know, right?
We're gonna definitely be working together. I'll be looking every other week for something.
Yes, I definitely just got approved for my event space about 2 months ago. I haven't booked anything yet, but next summer and this winter I definitely want to just all work, no play. So I'm getting everything together, which is why I don't really want to speak too much on that. But right now I'm just using that space for just practice of reciting my poetry. So that'll be where I could create a lot of content right now. But I will also use that for the upcoming events that I'm going to just host myself. So I'm excited about that. That's something that
you definitely walked right into my next question. So is you also going to be using this space, you know what I'm saying, for poetry slams, for encouragement groups and stuff like that?
So I wanted to start writing seminars, which a lot of them
Hold on. Well, you gotta explain that. What's a writing a seminar?
So writing a seminar is basically it'll just be me teaching or guiding whoever's interested from the age of probably, I would say 16 and up. I wouldn't even put like a age range on it because different ages, different variety of people brings out different things. because I learn from my people too. Like, I expect to put out things that people can learn from me, but I also love to take in information. So a writing seminar, it would just be like prompts of different activities that children or people on my team and staff could actually, just go through on the days we have it, Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Mondays or whatever. We just do different assignments and different writing activities to just guide us through whatever it is we're trying to get through with our writing. It's just enhancing your ability to write.
Okay. So if you don't mind me asking, how did the event space come into fruition? Is that something you always had an idea
That
for?
is
Did somebody
something.
plant that?
Yeah, it is something that I always had in mind. I didn't really think that, it would be where I have the event space. But you got to start somewhere. And I was really excited about it. I had it in mind since the very first day of me publishing my book. I just knew that that's something that had to come along the way. Mm-hmm. So it's been about almost 3 years now. So I feel like that's perfect timing.
Yeah, I definitely.
It's time to,
I feel
get in it.
I tried to look for an event space, but I had a partner and stuff, and it worked out, but it's just not easy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Finding location, find something you ain't gotta do a whole bunch of work on. So,
True.
What inspires you to keep all this stuff going?
I'm a very productive person. I feel like when I'm not doing something productive, I'm not doing something at all. And knowing that I have the ability to love what I do and actually be good at what I do, that just creates a bigger like visual for me. Mm-hmm. So I think that's just what it is.
Okay. And speaking about this visual, let's talk about your vision. So what's your vision? What's your ultimate vision? What's your goal? Do you want to just publish books? Do you want to just do the poetry?
Crazy. It's crazy because I debate with this about myself all the time. You know how some people say they want to be rich but they want to be famous? I actually want to be known.
I really
like.
I'm like in them.
I want to be known. I want to actually leave my mark for people to be
right. That's what it is. It's
man,
a legacy. You know what I'm saying?
I want to create a legacy.
Right.
And I'm just starting by creating a foundation.
Right.
So my visual is just letting children and my biggest focus is the youth, but I have a broad audience, which creates an even bigger platform. So my biggest thing is just letting people know that you can be very free-spirited and open through whatever it is you do, whether it's dance, writing, whatever. I always had the vision to open up a dance studio, but also create a studio for kids. How they have the after-school programs. Kids can come, do what they do, have an actual studio in that dance studio. My vision is just so big that sometimes I be really having to sit down and just okay, step by step, Andrea. You cannot push all these things out at one time. The first thing is going to lead you to the bigger things that you want to do. So I think that's why I had to kind of sit down with myself in the last couple of months and be you was putting all this out, you was handling it, but you also have to, think about the reality side of it too. Life will humble you. So I feel like you should just take baby steps anytime you're starting something new and just let yourself work on up to it.
True. You mentioned reaching a broad audience. Mm-hmm. So do you think you specifically, when you write poetry, do you specifically trying to reach a specific audience? And if so, what audience do you think? If you had to say this book is for somebody.
I would just say people who are just open-minded. It's not even the age range. Because some people will read something but not get it.
Right.
Or some people will get it and just they can't relate. So I would just say people who are just open-minded and more artistic people, who are just so into their art. Those are the people that I try to reach, because those are the people I know they could feel me right off back. Ooh, hold on, let me read that over. Or yeah, I fucks with that. So yeah, I think that's the audience that I try to reach. People who are just free-spirited, open-minded, and artistic.
Okay. And you talked about the baby steps. If you don't mind me asking, what's your support system like? Do you feel like you got to get the support from the people around you? Do you feel like it's something that people gonna be trying to latch on later to? What's that like?
I feel like I have an okay support system. I think my support system can grow within itself. But I just feel like, I'm all I need right now. Like, long as I'm behind me, the people the people who gravitate to me, they gonna gravitate to me and they gonna stick with me. And, that's when my team gonna get to grow, which I do. I really hope to, like, just grow a team. Like, we talking about business,
True.
besides the business. So, we might be a team. So, I'm just working on growing a team before actually, saying like, oh yeah, just because this person likes this, they're a part of my support team. I have a small support team right now. I feel like it could grow. So.
Okay. Do you feel like you're gonna be keeping an eye out for the people who, that's already around you right now that may not support you as they should? Or do you think you're gonna be like now that some jumping off, now that the space open up, they want to come kick it? Yeah, Is that the people you're gonna keep an eye on?
That happens. That's something you should always keep an eye on. It don't matter what you're doing. That's something you should always keep an eye on in life. And yes, I'm definitely on that. I'm keeping an eye on all that. But that's not my focus. My focus is to do what I do, love what I do, and just keep putting it out for the people who love what I do. And the people who, with it, people who ain't, they gonna miss out.
True. Okay, so you spoke about creating a legacy. Do you know when that mind state first started? Because a lot of people don't think like that. A lot of people think, for today. You know what I'm saying? So how did that become a part of who you are today? Like, I want to leave something behind. I want to have my name written. What made you want to?
I just really love what I do. To be honest, like, when I'm writing, I'll be like, damn, like, bitch, you cold. Or, like, it's I inspire myself. Like, a lot of times I do inspire myself. I don't know. I just feel like, yeah, it's really just all me. Like, my first time actually thinking, like, yeah, this is going to be a legacy is when I got in the booth.
Put yourself up for
it. I don't really speak on it. He laughing out because he know, but I created a couple of songs, and like, really a lot of people don't know this. Even like my close friends don't know this. I actually, used to just go in and have studio time. People don't know that poets are actually rappers and rappers are actually poets. It work hand in hand. But I did learn that rapping is man. It ain't that sweet, but I like the feeling. I just like the feeling of going in the booth, talking that shit, whatever I was writing at the time, and just being in that. And that's what just made me think, like, damn, like this might be a start of a legacy. Like you just doing all type of stuff, like, and it's not bad. Like, you doing your shit. So me inspiring me just made me feel like I can lay a foundation down to create a legacy. So that's what gave me that mindset. Okay,
before we get into the booth, and this could probably coincide with the booth, but also with the poetry and what you writing.
Yeah.
If you could talk to me about your creative process, like when you go into, do you got to be in a quiet room when you writing? Do you got to be outside? Are you smoking a blunt? You know what I'm saying? What put you in a mind state to write, or is it just so natural that you could just be?
So at first, I would say that sometimes me being in different emotional mindsets helped me create some of the work that I did. But experience is probably the number one. That's what helps me get in the mindset, like, damn, like, this could be something I could write about. And sometimes I just start writing out of nowhere, and next thing be like, I just wrote this out, like, just wrote this quick, like, didn't even know how it was gonna turn out, read it over, and it's actually good. And it's just like, I don't know. I really feel like I could write at any time. Most of the time it's quiet. I do write outside and inside. Like the last poem that I wrote was outside. It was just a nice day, and I went out and I was just on the porch, just getting the breeze, listening to the birds chirp, looking at nature. Everything was just perfect. It was just like a perfect time to just write.
Okay. So I try to write as much as I can, like for my independent, not rapping or nothing, but my independent podcast. I try to like script it all out.
Right.
And I like to write better on paper. Do you have a preference on are you a
I
laptop
have
writer? Are you a
several
paper
of
writer?
notebooks. No, I am like old school. Paper.
Okay.
Yes, paper. I love paper notepads and different like self-care books. I love all of that. So I don't really write anything on the computer. I do put things in my phone. Like I have like my whole first book in my phone. Like I'm really old fashioned with it. I love just jotting things down on a piece of paper too.
Okay. So you did touch on it, so I'm finna touch it some more. Okay.
What you
So, what came first? Your love for music or your love for poetry? Did it coincide with each other?
I love music. I don't feel like I'm a music creator, even though I have created music.
You definitely a creator.
Poetry, that's
If you was in a
that's
booth
my
making
love
music,
language right there.
Well,
Like
we
that's
gonna
one
get
of my
into that.
love languages is poetry. Music, it's really something that I just like to do for fun right now.
Okay.
So yeah, I ain't gonna put myself out there and people be like, what she got that you don't worry. No, I'm just saying, but yeah, poetry is definitely my love. I have a big love for poetry right now. Music is like a stress reliever. When you in that booth and you talking and you saying what you saying, it's like it's a whole different feeling. Like I ain't gonna lie, I do love it too, but poetry is that's my number one. That's my baby.
Okay, cool. So, leaving your baby at the crib, how did you end up in the booth? Did somebody hear you freestyle like, come on me? How did this, if you don't mind talking about it, how did this situation happen? How did it go? And when you ready to do it again?
I think it was like 2020. Yeah, it was 2020. I was talking to a guy, and he knew about my book and stuff or whatever. And he was just talking about how he used to rap, and I just play with him like he was so weak and this and that. And he was like, "Find the beat, we gonna rap on any." I felt the beat, made a rap, and and really like I let like the last person I did work with in the booth hear it, and he was just like it sound dope as hell, like So I mean the few people I did let hear the songs that I did write and create, they definitely think it's a lot of potential there. I'm not gonna lie and say that it ain't, but I ain't took it serious.
Okay.
I just really think it's a stress reliever. I think it's cool, like, to actually know that I can get in the booth and, spit something.
Okay. You feel like it's a stress reliever, you know what I'm saying? But it seemed like you be in there snapping. So is this any of these tracks you record, anything we'll ever hear in the public or?
Oh, Lord. If something ever happens to me, I get dude the permission to release all my
music. Like Tupac records?
Man, like, no, for real, like. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's something they're gonna have to find out if they continue to follow me. They'll find out. But right now, I can't give them a specific answer.
Okay.
Because I'm not serious about it, so I don't want to speak on something that I'm not serious about.
Okay, I can honor that.
Yeah.
Okay. So before we get you out of here, for the up and coming poets, or it's poets for men and women, right? I'm thinking like actress and actresses. It'd be throwing me off.
It's okay.
Okay, so. For anybody who may be interested, you know what I'm saying, on publishing a book or putting it on Amazon, is that a hard process? Is that something that you can walk us through with a little bit?
It's not a hard process, but it's not as easy as somebody would think. Oh, she did, so I can do it. Which you definitely can do it, but it's not what you know; it's who you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's just something. I just feel like just do your research. It is a lot of resources out here that can help you make those prior steps to publishing a book. I'm very informative. I'm not shy of letting people know certain information on how to do it or connecting them with some of the people that I know. Because I actually have a few people who want to actually write a book, some more serious than others, but that's something else that I'm doing, trying to help somebody.
Is it expensive?
It can be.
Okay.
It can be. I would say my first book, I think it came out to be like $600 to $800, I believe. So it's pretty. It could get expensive.
Okay. And I don't know how familiar you are with Audible. Is that something that you thought about getting into?
I'm familiar with Audible. I haven't did all my research on it. Cause I think Amazon has some Audible things going on. I was looking into that. Considering that my book is on Amazon and Kindle. I haven't looked all the way deeply into
you
it.
You got a wonderful voice. I could just listen to a poem in your voice, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can probably uplift somebody's day, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. I get that a lot. And I think that it'll be great, considering the fact that I do recite poetry. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, this is something I should look more into.
Okay. I was finna let you go, but you keep dropping these little tidbits. So you say you recite poetry. Is that something? Was you always able to do that? Did you have any type of stage fright? What type of events do you recite poetry at? Is it the poetry slams where they do that?
You know what's crazy? I look up these things a lot now because that's something that I'm gonna start doing. Mm-hmm. I'm actually gonna start just going to different like little nightclubs. They be having like, man, like, let's go get into some more questions. The more I talk, you open up more of my visual.
That's what we here for.
That's exactly what I'm trying to start doing. I'm trying to just get back into the groove of learning my own work. Which is why I'm so happy that I got this event space, because on my free time I'll be creating content. I'll be practicing what I write. Now I know it off the head. I ain't got to have no piece of paper, because when I first started poetry, I started writing poetry when I was in the 2nd grade. My first poem was called Love. I think I said that on my first interview.
But you still got it in the frame or something?
No, it's I just write, and sometimes some of the stuff just get lost.
Did you republish it? You should rewrite it. Republish it.
I probably should. I don't even remember what I said, but I remember the name of it because I was so young. What I know about love. So, when I got into the 5th grade, it's actually when I had a teacher she was into plays. She was into poetry. I'm talking about any holiday, any event for the auditorium. Her class is snapping. And she didn't play that, oh, you reading from a paper. We had time out the day to learn these things. So that like really pushed me.
I hated that class.
Miss Gordon class was what? You would have hated, your mama would have hated them fees that she was coming with. Yeah, we need this for this and that. But
True.
It definitely carried me a long way. So I feel like just her putting in her work and her extra time and teaching, and also creating a platform for her class each year to love being in her class, I think that kind of like created a pathway for me too. Shout out to Miss Gordon. She definitely was a good teacher.
Okay. And the event space, does it have a name? Is it just gonna be for events, or are you gonna be letting people host parties? It's gonna be not open to the public, but
so
what's your vision for that?
My vision for that, I actually want to do a couple pop-up shops, the writing seminars, and just poetry nights. Basic. Okay. Also, what I want to ask you, if you had to choose, you know what I'm saying, if you had to choose between poetry and everything else you got going on, as far as, you know what I'm saying, maybe working in slavery or any aspect of your life, is poetry something that you willing to put on the back burner, or is that something that's always it's not going on the back burner? I feel like I
invested too much.
Even though I have invested too much in it, and even though I would say within this year I haven't like created as much content as I wanted to, I feel like I've already put that on the back burner. Like, so anytime that I'm not working, I feel like I'm putting my visual on the back burner. So no, I don't ever want to put that on the back burner. Like, I got other things going on in my life right now, as far as business, and my poetry is still not going on the back burner. I'll be at work, writing poetry, doing what I love the most. And that's just, creating visuals and putting it on a piece of paper. So I would never put what I love to do on the back burner for other things. Okay. Not intentionally.
So we're gonna get out here on a poetry note. If you can you talk about the next book? What's next as far as poetry? A release window, a synopsis, what you aiming for, your ideas for the next one.
It's getting this event space together. It's just I'm finna just put out a lot of content.
Okay.
Everything, like I'm just in a stage in my life right now where I'm literally focusing on me. Once I start doing all these events, it's not gonna be about just me. It's gonna be about my people. What am I giving back to my people? Because I'm definitely a giver. So in my events, it might be some food there. I might got to coordinate the food. Like I'm a one man show right now. So it's like I have to really be prepared to, be ready for when I do start putting these dates out there for certain events. But right now, it's all me. It's getting my name out there. It's creating more content. Just getting people a feel of, okay, I like the way she delivered that message, or what's coming next. So it's really just me creating this content, writing and reciting my poetry right now. That's what people will see a lot of right now.
Okay. So I see you do quite a bit of traveling. So do you take inspiration from other places? Because I know it's a lot of inspiration in Chicago, but when you go to these other places, do you take inspiration? Are you on the road writing? Do you take inspiration from other places and things?
I do take inspiration. I do let a lot of other things inspire me when it comes to my writing. I actually wanted to do something like a travel like event thing, but one of my main things to get going is to do something every time I travel.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my main goal. Like the more I travel, I want to be booked to say a poem at somebody else's poetry event, or booked to join somebody's writing seminar. True. So I wouldn't say I write things like when I'm taking a trip and I'm out, because I really am enjoying myself, but that's something that I do want to do. As many times I go out of town, I want to be doing something productive that contributes to my business. So it inspires me. It inspires me. The things around me inspire me. I look at things and then I'll probably go back and write about it. It might not be then and there, but I definitely I take a lot of what I see and what I feel, and that's what I put on paper. So.
Okay. So you mentioned all these things you got going on. For anybody who may be watching and listening, they're like, man, I like what she got going on. I like what she represents. What kind of people are you looking for to work with?
I'm looking for to work with all types of people. I just saw a man downtown. Y'all gonna laugh at me. Well, I just saw a man downtown, and the guys that stand downtown and they passing out their books and this and that. Like, we all are trying to make it. We all are trying to get our name out there, especially us entrepreneurs and business. I took his information down. Like, I'm gonna be hosting some events, and hopefully I could use your book for one of my writing seminars. And I just took his information down because, I don't know, something was just telling me like this is networking,
Mm-hmm.
So
definitely,
I got a lot going on, but trust me, it's all about to come together.
Yeah, I believe it too. I can't wait to see what it turns out to be. So
yeah.
Before you go, let the people know who might want to get at you, who might want to check out your content, who might want to check out the book, where they can find you on social media, where they can find the book, or whatever else you want to leave the people with.
So you guys can email me at bbpga@online.com, or you can follow me on Instagram. I think it's bb_pga_ no, it's CEO_BB_PGA. I'm sorry.
Links will be on the description.
It would definitely be down there. I'm so sorry. I got so much going on. But yeah, if you want to reach me by email, I think that's the best way to contact me. And that email is bbpgaonline@gmail.com, because I did say it incorrectly the first time. So.
Okay. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate your time. We had a wonderful conversation.
We did.
I didn't expect it to go this long, so that's great.
Because we had a lot of catching up to do.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So you guys definitely be on the lookout for what she got coming next. I'm going to definitely support you any way I can. So
thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Appreciate it.
No
Thank
problem.
you for having me.
Of course. Every time.